Say you're about to present to an audience. This could be a small audience like family members, or could be large audience like an auditorium. And all of a sudden, you start shaking, you start sweating very, very hard. You start to feel like you've forgotten everything you've practiced, all your preparation up to that point. Then yes, this is the video for you to watch, because I've been in your shoes before. I used to shake like that. I used to sweat before I go on stage, and even on stage as well. So make sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to break down the reason why that's happening and how you're going to fix every bit of it. Let's get straight into it. The very first thing for you to do is to acknowledge that feeling, be it when you're about to go on stage or when you're actually on stage presenting. The first thing for you to do is to acknowledge that yes, you're feeling that way. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to deny that. Okay, why am I shaking? Why am I sweating this hard? No. What you should do is acknowledge that yes, I'm a little scared right now. Yes, I'm feeling frightened. Yes, I'm a little bit anxious going on that stage. Once you've acknowledged that you're feeling that way, the next phase is going to be riding it out as excitement instead of fear and anxiety, right? So this is what I want you to do. When that starts happening, the first thing is yes, I feel a little bit frightened. Yes, I feel a little bit anxious going on stage. What this is going to do for you is to take away that burden of denial, that burden of am I going to play correctly? Am I going to impress the audience? It's going to give you the power, right? It's going to make sure that you're having fun on stage no matter what happens. Even if you make mistake, even if you play wrong notes, which we're going to talk about later down in this video. So the first thing is acknowledge that yes, you're feeling that way. That gives you control. And then the red secrets I'm going to share with you is going to help you ride through that performance smoothly. The second point is what we call the spotlight effect. Performers do have this, especially beginner and intermediate. As a violinist, you're a performer, be you a beginner or intermediate, which is who this video is for. Right, so spotlight effect, this is us overestimating how much other persons are noticing what we're doing, or how much other persons are judging what we're doing. Let's say you're performing to an audience or to a full auditorium of persons, right? This is going to be you thinking that everybody seated in that room is there to criticize what you're doing, right? So that's an example of spotlight effect. This is what you should do about that. People really do not care that much, right? In fact, the audience wants you to succeed. They are not there to judge every single note you play or to bring you down. The audience is with you. Once you understand that the audience is with you and all of you are in this together, and the audience is not fighting against you or judging every single note you play, you're going to have much more control over that performance. And you're going to have this assurance that even if you make few mistakes, it's totally fine, right? Because you're here to have fun with the audience and not to do an exam for the audience. I know in some cases it might be you doing an exam, like people are marking you, but if you see that way, that everybody is there for you, everybody is there supporting what you're doing, it gives you more power and reduces the judgment of okay, was that a wrong note? Was that in tune? Did I deliver? Right, so to fix this, see it this way. People do not really care that much, right? They might be watching you, they might be applauding you, but they're not there to judge you. They're not there to criticize every little thing you play. Most of the time, persons, their mind could be somewhere else while they're passively watching you. So people do not care as much as you think they do, or people do not notice your mistakes as much as you think they do. In fact, in some cases, the way you deliver it is going to outshine any other mistake you might have made. So that's it for spotlight effect. Think about it as the audience is with you and the audience is not against you. This gives you more power to ride all through the performance. Let's move it on. Just a quick introduction. If this is your first time here, I'm Samuel and I give you the best violin lessons, violin tips, violin tutorials and secrets to take you playing to that next level. So if you like what you see already, make sure to join the channel by hitting that subscribe button right there and become a member of the channel so you do not miss any other video we upload on this channel. Let's get back into the video. This next point is one of the biggest. This is preparation. Preparation. This is what's going to get you through the performance. If you are not prepared, of course you're going to feel nervous, you're going to feel much more anxious, you're going to feel scared to get on that stage. So how do you prepare? You have to do it over and over and over again. Start with slow practice this is what I tell my students most of the time. For you to step on a stage, make sure you've practiced it to the point that you cannot get it wrong. So you should do it over and over again. Every other time you do it improves your confidence, boosts your confidence a little bit more. I'm going to talk about confidence in this video as well. But preparation is key to going on stage and riding it all out and having fun on that stage. No matter what happens on that stage, you can always count on how well you prepared for that particular one. Let's move it on. Another very important point is confidence. I'm going to show you how to build your confidence. So once you step on that stage, you own that stage. To improve your confidence, you need to start simulating your performances. Right? So for example, this is what I mean. Let's say you're working on a simple song, happy birthday song. Once you've practiced and you've put the notes together, start playing that song to one or two of your family members or to a small group, right? Do that over and over again. When it's time to present that to a large group, you must have done it about 5 to 10 times. So you're much more confident delivering that same thing to that large audience, right? So the more you do it over and over again, be it in front of one person, two persons, it's very, very important that you're doing it in front of people. Once you've gotten the notes together, it's very important that you do that. Another way of doing this is by recording yourself, right? So if you have a smartphone, if you have a camera, it will do as well, right? So turn it on. Video is going to be much better, but if you do not have access to video, you could use audio, right? Turn it on, play to that camera. You're going to feel a different pressure on you, and this is the same pressure you're going to feel when you're presenting to an audience, and you want to be able to ride that pressure out. The more videos you do, the more confident you're going to be when you step on that stage, or the more you play to persons, the more confident you're going to be when you step on that stage. Persons could be family members, could be small groups at church, could be small groups in your organization, could be your workplace, could be your friend. You could just tell your friend, I have this new tune I've been working on, just hear me play start to finish, right? And then when it's time for you to present on stage, you must have gathered experience from about 10 to 20 performances before you actually present it to a crowd. So that's one easy way to build your confidence. Another way to build that confidence is by playing songs that are relatable, the songs that you like, songs that when you play it, persons can relate to it, right? This might not be your classical repertoire. This could be popular songs which are quite familiar to other persons, right? So once you're playing those songs, you're gonna see them start nodding their head. In fact, sometimes even if you make a mistake, they're not going to notice it because they have an emotional attachment to that song and not that much to your technique of performing that song. So if you have songs like this, you could start playing these songs to people. Develop your confidence of playing in front of people. I've made this easier for you. I've compiled 20 of the most popular songs you could play for love events like weddings, songs you could play for birthdays, songs that do not change with time. So I've made the notes play along, right? And some of the things I will add to those songs to make it more beautiful. That's now available for you in the description. You might be asking, why can't I just find those songs on YouTube? The thing is, most of the time you're not going to have the notes to those songs, and even some few songs you're going to find on YouTube are not going to be as important as the songs that persons want to hear. Talking about songs like Thinking Out Loud, Perfect, Ed Sheeran, Rockabye, how to make sure that you master them and start building that repertoire of popular songs, confidence building songs. So go in the description, get on that, and I'm sure you're going to thank me later. Let's move on to the next point. This next point is very, very related to what we just finished. Treat every audience to be the same, right? Do not think, okay, so for example, let's say you're doing an exam and you have examiners to be your audience, right? You want to treat these examiners as the same audience as your church group or your family members when you were playing for them during your confidence training period, right? So do not think, okay, that's my principal, that's the my music teacher, they're going to be judging what you're playing. No, treat them as just another audience. That's why it's very, very important to do that confidence building routine. Make sure that you're playing to as much persons as possible. Okay, so do not think too much of an audience to be the elite group. that's going to put more pressure on you. That's going to put more sense of judgment on your performance, and you want to avoid any form of judgment at all. Think of it as another audience you're playing to, and everybody's there for you. Everybody's rooting for you in that performance. No matter what happens, even if you made mistakes that you had to stop and repeat, that's totally fine. You're there to have fun, and everybody's there to have fun with you, right? Do not let an audience scare you from performing. Let's move on to the next point. This is another very important one and could be a quick fix when you feel that tension of anxiety and all that stuff. Breathing. It's very important that you breathe. If you're not breathing, your muscles are going to tense up. If you're not breathing, you're going to forget the things you're supposed to do. 2 things I would want you to do before you step on stage: taking deep breaths and exhale slowly. So you're taking a very big breath using your diaphragm, just like you're taking in the breath into your belly and not in your chest. You should feel as though it's going into your belly. Fill it up and gradually take it out. Let's try one. We're gonna go. And control when you're exhaling, right? So make that go as slow as you possibly can. It's very important because that helps your muscle relax. You could do a couple of this before you step on stage. Another one is while you're performing on stage, if you feel as though you're tensing up or you're forgetting something, taking a quick deep one and kind of resets everything. Let's say you're performing and you know that coming up is something you've been having some difficulty with during your practice. You would consider a hard passage. It's time to take in a very deep breath and just ride it out in fun. It's going to help along with than you not breathing and moving into that passage like that. So make sure you're breathing. Advisably, take in some before you step on stage, and while you're on stage, make sure you're breathing still, right? Do not stop the breathing. You're gonna tense up. Let's move on to the next one. Second to the last one is reminding yourself of how well you're ready for the stage or how much you've prepared for that particular moment. So this is going to help increase your confidence stepping on that stage. So let's say you've been putting in some work, right? You've been putting in some work to make sure that this thing sounds good. Even if you feel as though your fingers are not all the way there, the main thing to remember is that you have been working. Do not lie to you. If you're lying to yourself and you've not been working, this is not going to work for you. So make sure you've been working, so that when it's about time to present, you can remind yourself that yes, I've been working on this thing. I've put in some hours practicing this. So once I step on that stage, I am prepared for this moment. Whatever happens, I am prepared for that particular moment. Even if I make mistakes, even if I forget a passage, that's fine, because I have put in the work to get to this point and to get to this performance. So make sure to remind yourself that you're ready for that show. You're ready for that song. Let's move on to the last point for today, which is having fun. It's very important. If you're not having fun, you're gonna start thinking of what could possibly go wrong, which I do not want you to do, right? Make sure that you're having fun. In fact, even if you're making mistakes, smile through it, right? It's not a do or die affair. It's just another performance. I want you to see it that way. Have fun on that stage. The persons are going to receive your performance the way you present it, right? So let's say you're all tensed up and you're trying not to make a mistake, very serious face and all that. That's how the audience is going to be. But if you're having fun, even if you bust a string, even if you missed a few notes, you're smiling through it, you're presenting, you're expressing. At the end of the day, that presentation is going to be much more memorable than a serious face one trying to get everything right. So make sure you're having fun. Even if you missed a passage, make sure you're having fun through it, and your audience is going to receive it that exact way you're delivering it. If you've not subscribed to this channel, this is the best time for you to do that, because I bring you the best violin tips, violin lessons, tutorials, and all that good stuff to take you playing to that next level. So click that subscribe button right now. Turn on the notification beside it so you do not miss any other video from this channel. I'm gonna give you a second for you to do that. Let's see whether you're gonna do it or not. You done it yet? Perfect. Let's get back into the video. The next thing for you to do now is to go into the description, like I had mentioned to you, to get on that Pop Super Pack. 20 most popular songs that you can start playing at events. You could start playing at weddings. You could start playing to family members to start building that confidence. So when it's time to present, it's going to be much easier. So go into the description. It's going to amaze you how much you're going to get from this. Notes, tutorials, play along videos and some of the things I will add to those songs to make them more beautiful. I would not emphasize it this much if I did not know how much you're going to benefit from this. So go in the description and I'm going to see you here in the next video.